Subic Bay, Philippines, September 3, 2025. Heads turn skyward as a massive U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemaster III descends, unannounced, onto Subic Bay International Airport. The landing is anything but subtle. Reverse thrusters scream, dust billows, and the community is jolted awake. Social media erupts with videos and photos of the imposing American military plane. For older residents, it's a ghost from the past. A reminder of when Subic Bay was the largest overseas U.S. naval base. The reaction, awe, confusion, and apprehension. Why is it here? What's it carrying? No official word from either government. Speculation runs wild. Is it a medical emergency, a secret delivery, or a calculated message? U.S. Air Force personnel disembark, moving with crisp efficiency. This is no accident. The silence from officials is as loud as the jet engines. Instantly, it's the top news story in the Philippines and beyond. In a region simmering with tension, the C-17's arrival is like dropping a match into gasoline. Subic Bay isn't just any airport. It's a strategic port opening onto the South China Sea, a flashpoint in global geopolitics. The plane's shadow stretches far beyond the runway, casting uncertainty across the region. The world is watching, waiting for the next move. The game has changed overnight. Subic Bay is more than a scenic harbor. It's a strategic linchpin in Southeast Asia. Its deep-water port shelters the world's largest naval vessels and provides direct access to the South China Sea. From here, a fleet can reach disputed waters in hours. When the U.S. left in 1992, a power vacuum emerged, and China seized the opportunity to expand its influence. Subic's military value never disappeared. Its absence was a gift to Beijing. The South China Sea is a vital artery for global trade. Over a third of maritime shipping passes through, carrying trillions in goods. It's also rich in oil, gas, and fishing grounds, resources crucial to millions. Control of these waters means control of trade and resources. For the Philippines, Subic is a gateway to its own maritime resources, but China's sweeping claims threaten that sovereignty. The U.S. presence at Subic is a powerful deterrent, signaling the Philippines is not alone. The C-17's landing isn't just about a plane, it's about reactivating a critical piece on the chessboard. It's a reminder to China, the game isn't over, and the board can change at any moment. Subic Bay's strategic importance is back in the global spotlight. The stakes have never been higher. Every move here echoes across the world. At the heart of the conflict is China's 9-dash line, a sweeping claim to nearly 90% of the South China Sea. This line cuts into the exclusive economic zones of the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia. In 2016, an international tribunal ruled China's claim had no legal basis, affirming the Philippines' rights. China rejected the ruling, doubling down on its claims. Beijing has built and militarized artificial islands, turning reefs into fortresses with runways, missiles, and harbors. Chinese Coast Guard and maritime militia harass other nations' vessels, blocking access and disrupting activities. These gray zone tactics assert control without open conflict. The C-17's arrival at Subic is a direct American pushback against this creeping expansion. The C-17's landing is a symbol of renewed U.S.-Philippine defense ties. Bound by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, the two nations have clarified that attacks in the South China Sea trigger mutual defense. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, allows U.S. access to Philippine bases, now expanded and strategically positioned. These aren't U.S. bases, they're Philippine, with U.S. forces rotating and prepositioning equipment. Joint military exercises, like Balikatan, have grown in scale and complexity, now including live fire drills in contested waters. These exercises send a clear message to Beijing: the alliance is operational and ready. The C-17 likely carried supplies or personnel for these efforts. Subic Bay's role as a strategic hub is being revived. The U.S. can now rapidly deploy assets to reinforce its commitments. The message to China: this alliance is real, active, and here to stay. Subic is once again a frontline in the U.S.-China rivalry. The C-17 Globemaster III is more than a transport plane. It's a symbol of American reach and resolve. Capable of carrying tanks, troops, or humanitarian aid, it can land on short, rugged runways anywhere. Its arrival at Subic signals logistical power. The U.S. can reinforce allies or respond to crises in hours. For the Philippines, it's reassurance. For China, a warning. The C-17 evokes memories of the old U.S. presence, signaling a revived partnership. It's a tool of both hard and soft power, delivering aid or military might as needed. In today's climate, its unannounced landing is a message of readiness and resolve. The U.S. is back in force, and the region is on notice. Every landing is a statement. The stakes are unmistakable. China's reaction is immediate. Beijing condemns the U.S. move as provocative and destabilizing. The PLA, Southern Theater Command, goes on high alert. Warships surge into the South China Sea. These aren't routine patrols. They're a show of force, shadowing U.S. assets. Chinese fighter jets scramble, conducting combat air patrols over key areas. Surveillance flights and drones saturate the skies. China signals it's watching every move, ready to challenge U.S. freedom of movement. This rapid mobilization is classic Chinese doctrine. Demonstrate resolve, control escalation. The message: this is China's sphere, and it will defend its claims. The C-17's landing becomes a test of wills, raising the risk of miscalculation. The board is set for a dangerous game. The C-17 incident is just the latest flashpoint in a region already on edge. The Philippines faces constant harassment from Chinese vessels at places like Second Thomas Shoal. U.S. Navy warships conduct freedom of navigation operations, directly challenging China's claims. Each operation is met with aggressive Chinese shadowing and warnings. U.S. spy planes patrol the skies. Chinese jets intercept, sometimes dangerously close. Every encounter risks escalation. A collision or miscalculation could spark crisis. These incidents are part of a broader pattern: Chinese coercion, American pushback. The U.S. uses its presence and alliances to uphold international law and deter aggression. The C-17's landing is a clear signal. Washington is ready to increase its footprint in response to Beijing's pressure. The stakes are rising with every move. The region is a powder keg. Every action is a message. The world is watching. The South China Sea is the epicenter of a larger U.S.-China contest for Indo-Pacific dominance. The U.S. vision of free and open Indo-Pacific, where sovereignty and international law are respected. America strengthens alliances with Japan, Australia, South Korea, and India, building a security network to counterbalance China. China's Belt and Road Initiative and military expansion aim to secure its own sphere, pushing the U.S. out of the first island chain. The Philippines is a critical pivot. Its allegiance shapes the balance of power. For the U.S., a strong alliance anchors its Southeast Asian strategy. For China, a neutral or friendly Philippines would fracture U.S. influence. The C-17's landing and China's response are a microcosm of this great power rivalry. Every move in the Philippines reverberates across the Indo-Pacific. The struggle for influence is intensifying. The C-17's thunderous arrival has exposed the fragility of peace in the South China Sea. Every action now triggers a reaction, fueling a dangerous cycle of escalation. The U.S. is determined to uphold international law. China is equally resolute in defending its claims. The Philippines stands in the crossfire, defending its rights amid superpower rivalry. The risk of miscalculation grows with every warship and jet in the region. A single incident could ignite a conflict with devastating global consequences. Deterrence is vital, but so is dialogue. Leaders must keep communication open to prevent accidents and manage crises. Clear rules of engagement are urgently needed. The future hinges on whether law prevails over force. The world hopes the next moves are toward de-escalation, not disaster. The stakes could not be higher.